to go.
Amazing. Thank you. Thank you, Ramin. For that, I will definitely do that. Duplicate what you just did. I love it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to get right into it. Welcome to the call to all of you. As you can see, we have the forensic networker himself here, our CEO, the man behind the opulence philosophy, a man who's had 30 years in the MLM industry, built $4 multi-million before starting his own business back in 2005, his own company. And today, Opulence Global is the most decorated company in the world. And just to name a few, some of the accolades that we have won, our CEO was actually featured in the American Business Journal, the first and only Canadian CEO ever featured with Warren Buffett. We've also won so many awards, Women of Wealth with our Senior Vice President, Bag of the Year. Our CEO actually won also the top 2 spots in network marketing in the MLM industry. And today we are, very, very fortunate to have him week after week to give us an entire hour of 30 years of, knowledge to pour into us. And we're so excited. And so without further ado, I would like to welcome our CEO and the forensic networker himself.
Thank you so much, Afro. Let me start by saying that these videos, they're all on the Forensic Networker YouTube channel. So while I'm talking, if you're not part of that, you're not subscribed, just go there, just go to YouTube, Forensic Networker, this channel will show up. Mistake 3 to 9 was unloaded, they're professionally loaded, so we take out the beginning and the end, only put to shorten the video as a good intro, a nice ending. It's something you can share with other networkers and build like and trust through forensic, and then eventually you probably want to join your team. So let's go to mistake number 10. Mistake number 10 is when for some reason you're not able to, or you don't want to create generational leadership. Let me tell you, this business is not about you doing everything. Now, I know some people like to hear their own voice, and some people have this ego. Some people think they're in the military and they're the general and they got to be the boss, and and some people, they just don't know how to build leadership. Not that they don't want to, they just don't know how to do it. And I'm here to tell you, in order for you to get the full benefit of MLM, you need to create what I call a self-functional team. That's a good word, a self-functional team. In other words, it can operate with or without you. Nothing will change. If you go on a vacation, your check is intact, your check is safe. I've seen this over the last 30 years. There are some teams that are vibrant, and until their leadership goes away and the whole thing slows down, and when you question what happened, oh, well, so-and-so is away. So as if when something is away, somebody's away, then anything has to change. Look, the whole idea of network marketing is residual income. The whole idea is that when you go on a vacation, the 9,000 people don't go with you. So if you go away and the whole business stops, that's because you have not created generational leadership that could fill the gap while you're gone. And how you do that is that you need to allow them to lead while you're there. So of course you're there, but you want them to book the room, set the room, do the presentation, do the trainings. In absent of doing that, because whether it's your ego, whether it's you just don't know how to do that, maybe because you're paranoid and you're hands-on, and if I don't do it myself, and it's not going to get right. And I can tell you that narcissist characteristic is in MLM, very much alive in MLM. I've seen that over the last 30 years. So if you don't create generational leadership, you're going to find yourself slave to your business. And the only way you can escape that and don't turn it into a job is that your business stays self-functional while you're away. So just so you learn better, every time I say some key phrases like self-functional business, you want to put that in the chat, let everyone see it, you see it. Let's type and learn. Number 11, the most important thing, no customer list. So I can't believe it. After 30 years, I deal with that almost every week. You know, I did a call on 3 days ago, and I have to impress upon people to have a customer list. See, what I do as a leader, you should be doing this. Anytime somebody complains, oh, my business is not going fast enough, or whatever, first thing I'd ask is that, show me your promise list. You don't have one. Game over. Second question, show me your customer list. Show me your list, your candidate list. Show me your MO box. MO what? You know, they're not doing the most basics of things. And then so look, you don't do the basics of the business, you have no right to complain. In MLM, you don't need inventory products like a traditional business. You're in MLM, your inventory is people. You know, when you're in traditional business, you don't need a list because you put a shop in the middle of a crowded street and they just happen to walk in, see your shop, and they walk in, you make some sales. MLM or trades like insurance and those things, they do need leads because they don't have a shop middle of a busy street. So then you have to go find your leads. So and building a list is an art. It's not that something you do one time. Sure, you start, by the way, you want to get your MO box, your forensic MO box, go to the back office in Opulence or go to forensicnetworker.org, order it. And once you get that, I'm telling you, everything will change because now you got to fill it up and you do things you wouldn't normally do. So you want to start maybe 300 to 500 names, and trust me, you'll do that in 15 minutes. We have memory joggers that help you do that. But while you're working on this, now you're meeting people constantly, you're getting referrals, and the box keeps building up. When I was on the field, I guess 14 and a half years, 15 years, I built my original box and I used it for about 10 or 12 years. And when I retired from being a distributor, my box had 1,760 names in it. I think it's on here somewhere. And my box wasn't as small like the forensic box. It was like this big. It was metal. It was heavy. And it was blowing up with leads. Because everywhere I went, I just fill it up, fill it up, fill it up. I go to a mall. I go to a grocery store. There's a bulletin board. There's always a Mary Kay card there or something like that. I go to pick it up and I staple to the candidate sheet. And I just smile and dial, smile and dial. So our job is not to decide who's going to do this. As a matter of fact, I did something tonight I have not done well. I don't go on LinkedIn a lot because I just got too many places to go. But LinkedIn sends you all these notifications. So I get this notification and I got this person want to connect with me. And normally I wouldn't pay attention, but one thing got my attention. The first thing he said in his profile, a network marketing specialist. My ears went up. I said, I need to log in and thank him for reaching out and, build like and trust. There is a lead in my box. And after that, it's about having conversations. It's not a complicated business. But if you don't do the most basic things, you're going to struggle. I'm telling you, you're going to get lost. You're going to struggle. If you don't have a flow of systematic approach of what you need to do, then you're lost, completely lost. And then when you get lost, another marvel forensic philosophy, when confusion sets in, inactivity starts. I want to write this down. Reason being, we're setting up a new wall, I call it Founders Wall, in our gallery here. So we're going to have all these quotes. My most popular quotes, we're going to have it on the wall. So when you come here, it's a motivational place. All right. So number 11, no customer list. If you don't have a list, then you don't have a calendar, period. What I mean by you don't have a calendar, if you're in forensic, you got the MO box. That means you're not doing anything. You're not doing appointments. So it's important, it's imperative. You understand 1 + 1 = 2. So you need the base to build up on that base. Number 12, no roadmap. What am I talking about? No promise list. Another amazing forensic philosophy that's changed my life is want more, become more, earn more, and give more. The first one It says want more. If you don't have the first one, the rest doesn't apply. You're not going to go to number 2 or 3. So then again, it's game over. Look, it's few basic things you gotta do. It's not a lot. It's a few big. Jim Rohn says half a dozen things make 80% of the difference, right? I have a different version of forensic. I said you don't need to know 4,000 things to be successful and know how to do this business. You need to know 6 or 7 things and do it 4,000 times. Repetition, right? But you gotta do them. You have to do them. If you don't have a promise list, that means you never sat down to really figure out what's important to you. That means you don't have a why that makes you cry. That means there's nothing to get you off your daily distractions. So actually sit down, smile and dial. You don't have a why, and your why starts with your promise list. 13. There are people that come in and they're afraid, or for some reason they don't know, and they only stick to the person that brought them in, which is the sponsor. It's a big mistake. The very first thing you got to do, is get to know all the uplines. We call them My 5. And then Ultimate 5, which is the company's top ranked people, millionaires. And this is a binary program. So you go high enough, you're going to hit all the millionaires. And they'll want to hear from you. You're in their team. They will benefit from your volume. The very first thing I want to do, I want to put myself on the map of the upline. Meet all the corp. You know, when I first got involved in MLM, I was this 20-year-old that didn't have much credibility in MLM business. I came from a pizza background and I was a wrestler and stuff, but you know, I guess for the product usage it was, but I didn't know anything about MLM. Very first thing I did, I learned the concept of third-party credibility. Third-party credibility. You know, it's called branding by association. If you got a picture with a corporate team, if you got a picture with your top millionaires, if you got some type of conversation, I'm telling you, people will perceive that as credibility. Oh, you know the CEO. Oh, you know the VP. Oh, you know the business development manager. Oh, you know the top millionaire. And the reason why it's important to your candidate is because they are having self-esteem issues. And if you're new, especially if you're new, they goes, okay, you're new, you can't take me there. But if they know you're connected to some very strong veterans in the business, then that relieves them from the pressure that, okay, maybe I can do this. I'll just join this team. If she's working, if she knows all these top people in the company, she is somebody important and I can work with her, or maybe I get to know them. So every time we go somewhere, you run into one of the corporate team, or one of the top Ultimate 5 or My 5, click, click, click pictures. Pictures, print it, put in your dream book. You should have a dream book where you got pictures in it and your PowerPoint and everything else. Keep the pictures on your phone. And here's what I would do. I go one step further. If I join a company today, and I've done this throughout my whole, if I was on a master distributor, I would do this. I would find out who's the top people. I would call them if they happen to be my upline, because the previous programs I was in, they were not buying any program. So some of them didn't even fall into my upline, but I would do it anyways. I would call them up. I would say, hi, Renee, how are you? It's Ramin here. Look, you don't know me. I just launched in London, UK. I've heard a lot about you. I'm very impressed by your story. You know, would you give me a couple of minutes and tell me what your story is? And I want to hear from you directly. And they'll be gladly to tell you that. And you ask some questions. I said, Renee, I just want to tell you, I'm your guy in London. I'm going to blow this place up. So I want to tell you that I'm going to blow this place up. And when I do, I want you to come support me. You know what Renee's going to say? Damn right I will. Put yourself on their map. See, these guys got tens of thousands of people, right? Unless you put yourself on their map, they're not even going to know. How would they know? It's your job to put yourself on there. Now, if you got a good upline, sometimes they do the connection. But most uplines are new themselves. They don't know what they're doing. So I'm telling you what you need to do. Get yourself on the map of the corp team and the upline. 14. This is kind of interesting. There are some people that just love to judge people. You know, or worse, prejudge people, right? They come into a new company and just start to judge the compensation. They haven't even worked on it yet. They don't even understand it yet, but they bring some old habits from another comp plan. And, why don't we just have this in a, like, if that was so good, you'd still be there. You're not there, you're here. So just abandon those things, right? Just come in, learn, don't reinvent the wheel. You know, they judge everybody. They judge the upline. They pretend that it's their ego talking, right? Oh, you know, they judge the corporate. They judge the management. They judge their own candidates. Oh, that person won't be any good. They just go out there and judge everyone. Now, our job in MLM is not to judge. It's to act. It's to share. It's to have conversations. It's to do exposures. That's our job. It's not to judge. What does it take to do this business anyways? You got some people that come in with not much attributes and they blow it up. It happens all the time. But even more important than that, it's not who they are, it's who they know. So it's not who they are, it's who they know. Tell you a story. My first company, there was a older gentleman. His name was something Drew. Anyway, he got introduced to the business and he became one of the top distributors and he made a lot of money. How he was introduced to that business is by another gentleman, and that other gentleman never actually joined the business. Well, he joined but did nothing. And the reason why he didn't do anything, that other gentleman had responded to an ad in the newspaper. So we have an ad in the newspaper. A gentleman saw it on the paper, called it, got some information, start calling around, building. He joined, but with a small package. And the reason why he didn't do anything is because the gentleman who got this hotshot was actually incarcerated. He was in jail. But while he was in jail, he wanted to build something. So he looks in the newspaper, there's an ad there for business. He says, hey, I'm going to call. They start talking, and next thing you know, he made some calls and he somehow got connected. I don't remember how he got connected to this other guy. And this other guy just happened to listen to that 2-minute message. He got intrigued. He joined. So the guy was in jail and he was incarcerated. In response to the guy when I made at least, I know the guy, his checks was over $20,000 a month. Now, the incarcerated guy never got out, I don't think, because we never saw him. But imagine if you could build from a cell. So it's not who they are, it's who they know, who they can find. Our job is not to judge. That's his job. That's his job. Our job is to act, share, exposures, conversations. 15. You hear this a lot. You get a candidate in. They seem excited. And when you talk to them, oh yeah, I'm going to give it a good try. So, or I'm going to try to do this. The word try is dead already. There's no commitment. Where is the commitment in trying? Where is the commitment in trying? The bridges are still there. You can run right back. I always say you can't be half pregnant. You're either pregnant or you're not. So I tell people, don't try, just do it. Conversations matter. Words matter. Somebody says, I'm going to try. I know they're not committed. So I pounce all over that. Because I just talk with forensic, if you're 50% in, any win will take you out. If you're 80% in, adversities will take you. If you're 95% in, you run into some block or another MLM distributor who's 100% in, they'll take you out. You got to be 100% in. Write it down, 100% in. Not 95, 100%. Anything lower than 100%, you're going to have peaks and valleys, emotional roller coaster, and you just want to be consistent. So if you decide to do this, just do it. Just do it. You know what I'm going to do? Give me a second here. I'm going to get a video. This is a good time to play. It's a 5-minute video. I want you guys, because this video I first watched it 20 years ago, 25 years ago. It is the most motivating, inspirational video I've ever seen. This gentleman, he was a football coach. He decided to get into insurance business. Exactly, Teresa, just do it. So he decided to get into the insurance business. While I'm talking, Ifra, why don't you look for it? Go on YouTube. It's called Just Do It by, what's his name? I forget his name. By the way, he went ahead and found an insurance company that through MLM, originally was called Primerica, and then they changed the name. No, it was something Art William. Just Do It. There's a long version and a short version. Give me the 5-minute version, the short version. You got to hear this, because every time I talk to someone and someone says I'm going to do this, it reminds me of this video. Every time somebody makes an excuse, it reminds me of this video. Every time I made an excuse, I remind me of this video. And I just remember these 3 words. Just do it. No excuses. Don't talk. Just do it. It is not that complicated. The word trying doesn't. If you decide to try to breathe, would you make it? I mean, try, it means there's no commitment there. You got to burn all the bridges. You're either going to win or you're going to die. That's being committed. I'm not literally going to die. I'm just saying that should be the mindset. And I'm telling you, that makes you 100% in. And when you get that 100% in, and if you do what you're doing now, which is get on these videos and do the basic thing, half a dozen things, there's no way you're going to fail. No way. If you're not committed, you're not doing the half a dozen things, you fail for sure. So let's go to, there is a 5-minute, okay, a third one. Let's listen to it. Turn it up.
I believe desire and will to win.
Can you hear?
Yes.
Okay.
Is everything. I don't know why I'm like I am, but my butt's always burning. There's always something say, Art dadgummit, you're supposed to go for it. Art dadgummit, you're supposed to be somebody. You're supposed to make a difference with your life. What does a $500,000 a year person do? The $50,000 a year person doesn't do. You look at the outside and study those 2 individuals, everything seems to be the same. They both are the same sex, they both are the same age, they have the same training, the same positions, the same contract, the same fringe benefits. They both are successful, they work hard, they're good family people, make tough commitments. But what's the difference? What does the $500,000 a year person do? The $50,000 a year person doesn't do. He pays the price and a little bit more. He works hard and a little bit more. He's loyal to the company a little bit more. He believes in a little bit more. He makes money a little bit more. He saves money a little bit more.
Can you still hear me okay, everyone?
Yes, Ramin.
Perfect.
If you want to win in these United States, you got to be tough and you can't quit. The last thing I'll talk to you about today in building this winning edge is, folks, if you want to win in business, you got to be a leader. Leadership is everything. You show me anything in these United States that win, I'll show you a leader at work. You show me a successful church, Boy Scout troop, club, football team, business, I'll show you something run by a leader. See, I thought at one time in my life you had to be smart to win. I used to have these smart people that dress so pretty and talk so pretty and use these big words. They just intimidated me. And I said, Art, you can't ever be that good. Why don't you just throw in the towel and go back and coach football for a living? And I found 2 things out about smart people. I think it's almost impossible for a smart person to win in business in America today. Because I find smart people spend their whole lifetime figuring things out. They always trying to figure out an easier way and a quicker way. And another thing I found out about smart people is they just don't get around to doing nothing. And see, somebody like Art Williams, everybody says, well, he can't do it. And somebody like that can't do it. But he does it. See, folks, I want you to know almost everybody in America almost does enough to win. They almost get there. They almost are over the hump. They almost have it going. They almost in everything they do, almost is a way of life to almost everybody in America. But the winners do it. What do? They do whatever it takes to get the job done. They do it and do it and do it and do it and do it until the job gets done. And then they talk about how great it is to be somebody they're proud of. We need leaders in America who can do it. If you want to become somebody, do it. If you want to go in business for yourself, do it. If you want to become financially independent, do it. I hear too much talk in these United States. Everybody can talk a good game. We need people in America who can do it. I go all over this country with A.L. Williams, and I have people say, Art, you can count on me. Wonderful. Just do it. Art, I guarantee you this is my last stop. I'm going to win now. Super duper. Just do it. Art, if I could just have one good month and get the ball going, I know I could make it big. Super. Just do it. Art, if I could just pay off this debt, I could really go. Great. Just do it. Art, if I could just sell my house. Do it. But houses ain't selling. Do it anyway. Art, I'm not making any money. What can I do? You just do it. Do what, Art? You do it and do it and do it. Art, I guarantee I'm going to win this contest. Super duper. Just do it. Art, I'm over the hump now. Watch my smoke. Great. Just do it. Art, I want to make it so bad I can taste it. What I do, you just do it. Art, I'm a vice president now. Can I quit doing it? No. Art, I don't know if I can keep on keeping on. I'm really hurting what I do. You just do it. Do what, Art? You do it and do it and do it. Art, all my life I want to be somebody important. Well, what do it then? Art, I'm going to save money so I don't have to go through this again. Great. Just do it. Art, I don't feel like I've had enough training. What I do, you just do it. Art, my manager don't give me no help. What I do, you just do it. Art, you don't understand. I was Mr. Everything at my former company. You don't mean I have to start off down at the bottom and do it, do you? Yep, you really got to do it. Art, what's the primary difference between winners and losers? The winners do it. They do it and do it and do it and do it until the job gets done. And then they talk about how great it is to finally have achieved something unique and how glad they are that they didn't quit like everybody else and how wonderful it is to finally be somebody they're proud of and make a difference with their life. Thank you.
One second, I have to shut this thing off. Oh, hold on a second. What happened here? How come I'm still seeing? Okay, here we go. All right, how awesome was that?
Wow, very, very powerful.
You know, first time I saw this, I'm trying to shut this thing off. How do we shut this thing off?
I believe desire and will to.
We saw it once. I'm trying to get back on my screen here. So where do we go?
Everybody's saying just do it, do it, do it. Yes.
Yeah, you know what? I'm trying to figure out how to get back to you guys. You guys can tell me, how did you feel? Let me tell you a story about this guy. This guy, he was a football coach. He decided to get into insurance business. Well, at that time, you could not get into the insurance business on MLM. Nobody had done it. The biggest companies in the world, like Prudential, all these guys, they're doing billions. They first laughed at him. Then, within the 9th year, he was doing more insurance sales than the 2 largest insurance companies in America. Then they tried to get him in trouble because I guess they didn't like what he was having. He was taking all the business away. That company was A.L. Williams at first. It became Primerica afterwards. Multi-billion-dollar company. So how does a football coach, and I love how he puts it, smart people never get anything done. You give it to somebody, a football coach, and you know what? He's not trying to figure out a faster way or an easier way. He just goes and gets it done. So going back to the conversation that we're having earlier, somebody say, you know, I'm going to try to do this. Are you kidding me? It's not brain surgery. Just do it. Pick up the phone. I've given you, what does it take to do this? For the 50th time, promise list, candidate list, scripts, text, phone call, appointment, tour, and when you do the tour, one of three things will happen. They become a customer, cha-ching, they become a partner, cha-ching, or call me later. Timing is not good. It's not complicated. Just do it. I love Nike. I think Nike do it for me. Just do it. It's not a we don't need to have some type of technical nuclear science education to do this business. It's half a dozen things, basic things, that'll make 80% of the difference. So everybody in the chat group, just do it and do it, because that's all it takes. That's all I did. I was not the most polished network marketer in 1990. There's a lot of people there, commercial real estate, sharp, great presenters. I didn't even know how to present. From everybody that was there, and they make money, self-doing my upline, I made them a lot of money. None of them are in the business today, because I know where they are. I know who they are. None of them. And they're either shocked or complimentary, and they just can't believe what I've done. And you wouldn't have picked, I would have been the last person in the leadership lifestyles to say, you know, when you go to school, and then you go to a reunion 25 years later, who was the most likely to succeed? I'd be the first one on the bottom. I did not fit the bill. So I talked to some of those uplines, and they're like, I mean, but we're speechless. Not only I built 4 multi-million-dollar business, I started my own. And somebody told me once, I have to verify this, because I know some legends who I respect a lot, like Mark Cornell, who was Jim Rohn of MLM. Even when he started his own company, it died in 10 months. Larry Thompson, who is my mentor, I quote Larry Thompson, is a top earner in MLM all time, with about $200 million in income. So with Amway, Herbalife, and so forth. And he started a company called Lifetronics, and it died less than a year. So it's I think you're the only one that came from the field, actually started a company, and you're actually running it and you're in business. I don't know if that's true, but I'm not here saying this to impress you. How I did it is probably because, according to Art Williams, I did it because I wasn't smart. I just did it. I just did it. And I love what he says, smart people don't get nothing done. They always try the faster way, easier way to get things done. And so I've played this video for the last 25 years. And every time I watch, I probably watched it, probably half those views on that video is mine. You know, and every time I watch it, it's almost like a boost for me. So just do it. All right. 16. What time is it? Okay. 16. Become friends. Don't make a mistake of becoming friends with your distributors. Don't become friends. Family's okay. Friends isn't. Somebody said, well, that's weird. No, because friends generally, there's lack of respect there amongst friends. They don't have to listen to you. You know, they goof around a lot. But we don't seem to do that with family, right? Doesn't matter how long we've been family with them. There's always this respect there. You know, we carry the boundaries, you know, we don't cross, right? But that seems to be, that little border seems to be missing with friends. So I said, look, don't become friends with your team. Be like a family. As family, we love each other, we protect each other, we respect each other. And we're there for each other. I don't know how often friends are there for each other. The last time I saw that must have been high school. But that's just me. You know, so don't become friends, because the minute you cross the line and go out there, I'm not saying, I mean, having social time, because as a matter of fact, I teach that, but there's got to be a certain demeanor in those sessions. Respectful demeanor. It's team bonding. What Renee did tonight was beautiful. It's team bonding. You know, people had an amazing time, but they were there as a family, not as friends, and there was a lot of respect there. So the minute you become friends with them, they don't have to listen to you anymore. They don't want to be coached anymore. They know you too well. You can't teach you anymore. So don't make that mistake. There's a difference between friends and family. 17. I guess this is mostly true for people who have a big team or at least been around a while. They put the silly restrictions on their team. Don't call me at this time, do this, I do that. Like, look, to build an empire, it will require some sacrifices. If that means it's going to pinch you right in your family time at some point, it's okay. I mean, not everyone's going to work on your schedule. People work, they have a job. You brought them in, you said I'm going to support you, because I can guarantee you on tour night, you didn't tell them those restrictions. When you told them to sign up, you did not tell them, oh, by the way, I'm going to go away for 3 months. You won't get a hold of me on weekends. Don't call me here. You didn't say all that stuff. What you said was, sign up, join my team, and I'm going to be there for you. Keep your word. Don't put silly restrictions on your team. We have to adjust. I'm not saying that you need to completely give away your freedom. No. All I'm saying is, if you got a new team member and you know that certain times is only time when they can build it, and then you need to adjust. Because here's what happens. The minute your new team member is confused about your availability, then they stop working. The minute you have to decide or think whether you're available or not, then they stop prospecting. That's why it's so important, if you're running meetings in the city, that you have a schedule for the whole year, printed on a schedule, and you pass it out to everybody. So there is no confusion on when the meetings are, where the meetings are, and everyone's committed, and people can see how organized you are. There's a long-term business. It's clear. If you are running one of those meetings that, well, you know what, yeah, we'll hear next week, and the following week, nobody knows, no one's committed to that. No one is committed to that. 18. Don't be afraid to tell the truth about what it really takes to win. People are always scared to talk about some basics of the business. Like, yeah, you got to come to meetings. Yeah, you got to be in training. Yeah, there's 5 calls a week. Yes, you got to be in your smart buy. Otherwise, you're not going to commission. Those are huge mistakes. By the way, the time that you can tell those things, that they would take it the easiest, is on the tour night, is on the join night. Why? Because they're more excited. What people do not want is to be surprised later. They want to know up front. It will not make a decision, change on their decision. I can guarantee that. They're either excited or not excited. But when you don't tell them the truth of what it takes to win, make it sound too easy, even worse. Yeah, I'll build it for you. I'll build one side for all this stuff. Don't do that. I always said in MLM, the harder you are on your team up front, the easier they are on you at the end. Because you've told them everything, and that's the time they can handle everything. They're excited. You told them they can handle it, but if you don't tell them up front when they got most excited, and later on they find out, oh, I gotta do my smart buy or I can't get a commission, now they're upset. They would not have been upset 3 months ago whenever they launched, but now it's a surprise to them. You know, we get a lot of people that call here and say, what is this charge? They don't even know what that charge is. Because the upline put them in and put them on. Like, I don't understand this. All this stuff, like, we calm them down here and we explain, and most of the time they're fine. I mean, I would tell people, this is simple. Somebody says, do I have to do my smart buy? Well, I know you don't have to. If you just come in, if you just want to make somebody to host a profit, you don't have to. But if you want residual income, that means you earning on other people's effort. Because residual income is not your effort. If you want to earn income on other people's effort, including the people you did not recruit, then yes, you have to be active buying and selling $150 a month in products. At the very least, what you could do is use the product. But what gives you the right to earn commission on other people's effort? See, nobody objects to that. Nobody objects to that. Up front, if you put it the way it is. So if somebody says, well, I don't want to be on this, no problem. No problem. You can get off your smart buy. But by the way, you got 25 people there and there is some volume. You're going to get flushed, but I guess you don't want any residual income. No, I want. But what excited you when you got into this business, Ifra? Was it that you want to make a few $100s a month, in retail wholesale profit, or was it the $4 million plan that excited you? Was it Reza's story, or was it, just for buying some products? No, I want the residual income. Well, okay, then you got to do your smart buy. Because that money is not coming from your effort. It's royalty income on everybody else's effort. The very least you got to do is buy and sell $150 a month. And I can tell you, I've never had one person say you're right. And I've seen people upgrade from 35 and 75 to 150. So once you tell them the truth, it makes sense to people. The worst you can do is not tell them the truth. So don't be afraid to tell them the truth. They'll appreciate it later. So the harder you are up front, because here's what's going to happen. If you don't tell them, they got to go to meetings and trainings, understand, evolve. That's a good word. Be able to evolve as a person, because how they are brought up to where they are. They don't make $4 million a year now. So if they want to get there, then if you want to make it $500, $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, whatever it is, we need to give them some skills. That means they're going to evolve. How are they going to evolve if they keep doing the same thing? They're not making $1,000 a month now extra outside their job. So if they're going to make an extra $1,000 a month, then they got to pick up some new skills. That means they have to evolve. And nobody objects to that. Nobody objects to that. The problem is you make it sound too easy. Now all of a sudden you turn that someone that could be a partner, that could be a distributor, because you lied to them up front. Now you turn that person and took them to a different highway, which is an investor. They think by buying in, they're going to make money. So you sign somebody up. There's two highways here. Highway to become an investor because you lied, afraid to tell the truth, or highway tell the truth and turn them on a highway of being a partner, being a distributor. So don't be afraid to tell the truth. Another thing, 19, don't be afraid of the word MLM. I've seen people freeze when this thing comes up. There's so many easiest way to deal with this. First of all, the word MLM just means multi-level marketing. Okay, it doesn't mean multi-level payout, it means multi-level marketing. And most companies, certainly for us, we're more than just MLM, because we have a ton of people who launch in our business, they just want to sell retail. So sorry, this is MLM, so is that the part you want? Because there is a section for wholesale retail. You can do this through trade shows. Personally, I can tell you I want residual income, so I'm building a team. But you can decide where you want to end up. You want to make a few grand a month between trade shows and retail wholesale home parties? You can do that. That's not MLM. That's not what I want. I mean, it's there, I make some money, but I'm interested in residual income and a $4 million plan. So I am doing the multi-level marketing part. I'm building a team. See, nobody objects to that. Somebody says, yeah, well, I suck at that. Great, don't do that part. Get in, sell through home parties. Sell through, guess what? They're going to do that part anyways. Once they're in, they're in. They don't think twice about it. So, but don't be afraid of what's wrong with MLM. Multi-level marketing is the greatest industry, history of mankind. Look on this call, right? Including me. I don't know, maybe some of you guys will have had the potential to become a supreme NATO commander of your profession and go make millions. I don't know. That wasn't an option for me. I was in a restaurant, but I wasn't okay. But for me to be remotely living the life that I want to live, nothing like that, I need to have 20 pizza shops. You know how difficult that is? So let's face it, most vast majority of people The only reason, the only shot they have, this is it. So go ahead and present it powerfully. People don't care what you say. They look at your reaction. Remember that. We are creatures too. You know that animals can feel fear? They can sense fear. So do human beings. Why are you so afraid? If you love your company, why are you so afraid? You know what people are afraid of? It's not our company. They're afraid of what other people are saying about other companies or the previous experiences. Get rid of it. You're in opulence, global, living an opulent life. Understand your company and present it powerfully. MLM is the greatest industry in the world. Of course, there are bad companies out there, but there's bad franchises out there. There's bad insurance companies out there. There's bad real estate agents. There's bad everything. There's bad plumbers. There's bad dentists. There's bad everything. You don't see somebody said because there's bad dentists out there and there's a lot of them. It's like, well, I'm a dentist. No, they're very proud of what they're doing, and you are. What is your name? Well, you are a distributor. You are a partner. You're promoting. You're giving. You're giving information. What do? We distribute. What do we distribute? What is our method of distribution? We're in a distribution business. What distribute? You distribute information, you distribute products. Those are two businesses. We do distribute information on a product or the business, and we distribute products. We distribute. What's wrong with that profession? We buy into the mantra around us, and that's unfortunate. So that's number 19. So let me finish this up. So remember, candidates, they don't join you because they bought the method of distribution. I don't think anybody joins MLM because they were looking for another MLM business. People don't join method of distribution. People join you. People don't buy your business, they buy your confidence. People buy your energy. They just want to be around you, want to follow you. So you got to be powerful. So what do you do for a living? I distribute. I'm in a distribution business. What do you distribute? Information and products. What are the products? I can go help be whatever. That's how you respond to that. So that's number 19. I'm going to leave it at that. And last 3 or 4 minutes, let's open the lines and let's get some comments.
Wow, wow, wow. That is so powerful. I know that everybody, the chat is blowing up. So many of you are contributing and retyping. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Every single time I get on this call, it's like a new awakening for me. Okay, so the chat's here. Oh my God, they're talking about doing it over and over to continue. Just do it. You did because you weren't smart. Someone says, and we have actually Tammy and Teresa writing down. They're making my job for next week easier. They're writing down.
Good stuff.
Yes, thank you, ladies. I love it. Tammy says here, team bonding as family, not friends. Yeah, when confusion sets in activity starts, do not be afraid to tell the truth about what it takes to win. Be hard. Yeah, just do it. I like that explanation. Need to evolve. Do not be afraid of the word MLM. I love it. I love it. Oh, okay. So Payman says, Ramin, that we have some Iranian students on the call. I don't know if you want to say hi in Persian.
Well, my Persian is not that good, but I tried some. دوستان عزیز خوش اومدیم به این کال فرنزیک که هفته انجام میشه. میرم اونجا وسط صبح. خواهم بگم که متشکرم و ازتون خیلی proud هستم که این موقع شب اومدیم این کال. But in Iran, it's like 4 in the morning.
Yes.
If they're on, that shows commitments, and I really appreciate their efforts.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it. You know, Ramin, when you talked about everything you talked about touched me, but the one that really, for me, it's number 18. By the way, if any of you want to say a few words, raise your hand as usual. I will call you. Number 18, which is don't be afraid to tell the truth about what they need to do in this business. I remember at least the first year in this business, I would welcome every single person. Yes, my brother, yes, my sister, we can do it, let's do it. I assumed that somehow people knew, at least, because to me, if you're going into a business, obviously there's effort involved. But then what would happen? Few weeks would go by, few months would go by, nowhere to be found. I can't find them. Some of them won't even respond to my messages. And then it finally hit me. That is because I was not upfront at the beginning and let them know, you see this plan that you see, the $4 million, the car, all this, opulent lifestyle, there's work to be done. Are you ready to work? So now that I've started doing it, I have by far the most quality people on my team. And anyone who says they're not ready, I basically tell them, you know what, here are my products. Why don't you try my products? Because before I was losing them as customers and as partners. So thank you for that.
No, I appreciate it. Look, remember, we have to move people before we move products. So our job as coaches, our job as upline is to develop people, evolve them. When somebody says this, I'm going to do this, or I don't know if I can do this. So, well, as long as you're willing to evolve, you can do this. And leave that up to me. We have the systems and trainings in place to get you to evolve, as long as you're willing to do it.
Amazing, amazing. Yeah, absolutely. We have a question coming in here. It says, let me see here. How do you move forward if you finish your customer list? How do you establish more leads?
You should never run out of your customer list. Look, I mentioned this earlier. You start with your MO500, we call it, which is about 500 names. But every day, if you're doing your business and if your eyes are open, eventually you're going to develop an eye that everybody becomes a prospect. Everybody becomes a prospect. Once you're in the MLM mode, somebody, doesn't matter what somebody says, you're going to attach that into an opportunity to promote your product and your business. Doesn't matter what somebody says. So one of the things, and there's a lot of scripts out there, but one of them is that somebody says, I'm a doctor. Oh, great. And have a little like and trust. And look, John, there is something I want to talk to you about. Maybe next week we can have a conversation, because I'm in this business and we tend to attract a lot of doctors. So I want to throw you a couple of links and get your opinion on it. We tend to attract a lot of doctors, plumbers, engineers. Like once you start getting into the prospecting mode. So next thing you know, of course, every time we talk to somebody says, I want a customer, I'm going to be a partner, or I'm not interested. The next question is, I appreciate, thank you so much, welcome home. We'll talk in 6 months. In the meantime, though, I am expanding into your area. Can you get a couple of names that I can treat them the same way as I've done with you, and throw in a couple of links and get their opinion on it? Maybe they know somebody who suffered from something that I can help with. So you ask for referral. And by the way, people don't mind at all giving a referral. I did a whole video on this, which is, it was basically, you can call people and listen, maybe we can help each other, and he'll tell you about his profession. They'll love to tell you about the profession, and you tell them about yours. Going out to meetup places, fantastic place too. Everyone's there for the same reason, Or how about this? People love this one. I'm expanding your area, and I need your opinion on how to proceed. People love giving you their opinion. It's your area, you know the area well, you know the people well. So I want you to take a look at it and tell me how to proceed. Maybe we can have some ideas I could use. People love giving you their opinion. So you should never run out of leads. Like I said, when I started my box was in 1998. And in 2005, not only my box had grown, the day I stopped using the box, I had 1,760 candidate sheets in it, because you keep on collecting. Now, here's another way you can do it too. When you launch people, you know that they're not going to make their list. I don't know why, but it just won't. So you sit with them, give me 20 people right now, right? And then you take their name, put your candidate list, put your MO box, you get them to do it, but if they don't do it, you have 20 leads. And the script for that is easy. Yeah, I was talking to her. Efra was talking that, you know, she knows you really, really well. I was showing him a new business I'm expanding into this area. And she thought, you should be taking a look at this. So they don't know you, but if Efra said that recommended them, it's okay, they're ready. No, that's a warm lead. There's so many ways to fill up your box as long as you're actively doing it. If you're not going to actively build, then you become rusty, and then you lose your ideas, and you just can't prospect.
I love that. I love that. Getting every single new person to write down 20. And if they don't want to contact them yourself. I love it. I love it. Yeah. Amazing. So I'm just going to look at one more chat here. And I think we are at the top of the hour.